In the bar, that manipulative jerk lost the game on purpose and kissed the eldest miss of the Liu family right in front of everyone. The crowd instantly went wild with everyone pulling out their phones. They pointed their cameras right at me, Liu Hanxiao's fiancée. Just when everyone was waiting for me to throw a massive dramatic fit, I just gave a breezy smile. Meanwhile, sitting in the corner, the terrifying villain boss Bai Ningbing actually heard my inner thoughts. If Bai Ningbing knew that manipulative loser, Lu Jing, used her photo as his wallpaper and hugged it to sleep every single night, would she be completely sick to her stomach? Bai Ningbing's fingers, holding her wine glass, paused almost imperceptibly. My inner monologue was running wild and I just couldn't stop. It kept going. If I rushed over right now and planted a kiss on the boss, would she just throw me into the ocean to feed the sharks? This time, Bai Ningbing almost spilled her red wine. This little brat has some serious nerve, actually lusting after her. But I was completely oblivious to all that. Looking at Lu Jing, whose eyes were secretly drifting over to Bai Ningbing, I thought to myself, if he saw me kiss his goddess, would he get so mad he dropped dead on the spot? Compared to pissing him off to death, becoming shark bait really doesn't sound so bad. Hearing my thoughts again, the corner of Bai Ningbing's mouth twitched uncontrollably. She quietly shifted her posture, her eyes landing on me with deep amusement. Lu Hanxiao pushed Lu Jing away, fully expecting me to cry and beg for an explanation like I always did. Instead, I just stood up, didn't even give her a single glance, and brushed right past her. I headed straight for Bai Ningbing. Lu Hanxiao and her squad of besties were completely dumbfounded. "Shibota, where the hell are you going?" Someone yelled. "Hanxiao is right here. Where are you walking off to?" I didn't break my stride. I shot Lu Hanxiao a look of pure disgust and said coldly, "Trash that's been kissed by another man, I don't want it anymore." Seeing this, Lu Jing instantly slapped on a pitiful, victimized expression. "Bro, I know you're mad, but it was just a game. How can you not trust us?" I rolled my eyes hard and shook his hand off. "With how into it you two just were, if there was a bed here, you would have jumped right into it, wouldn't you?" After that, I couldn't be bothered with this cheating couple anymore. I turned around and kept walking toward Bai Ningbing. The atmosphere at Bai Ningbing's table got pretty weird, too. Her friends watched me storming over, raising their eyebrows and whistling. Oh, who's this guy coming for?" Bai Ningbing leaned back lazily on the couch. She was casually swirling her wineglass with one hand, but her eyes were deadlocked on me. Just as I was about to step right in front of her, some rumors about her suddenly flashed through my mind. Oh, crap. I heard this boss stays away from men because she's into women. And she's supposedly dating her bestie. If I go in for a kiss, won't she literally tear me limb from limb? Hearing my thoughts, her amused expression instantly turned as black as thunder. She shot an icy glare at the friend sitting next to her and suddenly kicked her, looking utterly disgusted. "Sit further away. Stop touching me." Her friend was completely bewildered as she was kicked aside, and I happened to step right up to the empty spot she just cleared. Not too far away, Lu Jing saw me actually standing next to Bai Ningbing, and his hands subconsciously clenched into fists. If looks could kill, I would have been sliced into a million pieces by him already. Honestly, I was freaking the hell out on the inside, but I had to keep up my cool front. Oh, man. The boss's aura is way too intense. She wouldn't hit me, right? Bai Ningbing slowly raised her eyes and looked right at me. Seeing her look up, I braced myself and squeezed out a smile. Miss, do you still remember me?" Bai Ningbing raised an eyebrow, her slender fingers tapping gently on the table. "Done being a stray dog for today?" My legs gave out, and I nearly dropped to my knees right then and there. Did the boss really have to hit so close to home? I forced myself to stay upright and stammered, Miss, last time you said I could come to you if I needed anything. Does that still count?" Bai Ningbing's friends immediately exchanged looks that I totally understood. Oh, these two definitely have some history. Lu Hanxiao and her crew were completely dumbfounded. She never expected that I would actually know the head of the Bai family. And Lu Jing, seeing me strike up a conversation with his goddess, his face turned green with envy. Bai Ningbing set down her wineglass and crooked a finger at me. "Come here." I obediently scooted over to her side. Staring at her sharply defined features from up close, I was screaming internally. Oh my god, she is so unbelievably stunning. No wonder she's the male lead's ultimate dream girl. Those eyelashes, that nose bridge, it would be worth dying just for this face. Listening to my wild inner monologue, a hint of amusement flashed in Bai Ningbing's eyes. She didn't have all the details, But she still knew that the disgusting man staring at her, Lu Jing, saw her as his unattainable dream girl. She raised her eyes to look at me, asking even though she already knew the answer, "What do you need my help with?" I stared at her thin lips in agony, a fierce battle raging in my mind. If I straight up asked to kiss her, she'll definitely toss me out, right? But if I just go for it without asking, whatever. I'm dead either way. Might as well enjoy it while I can. Countless thoughts flashed through my mind in a split second. Finally, I locked eyes with Bai Ningbing, and under the amused gazes of her friends, I suddenly leaned down and planted a kiss right on her lips. Smack! The sound was crisp and loud. The entire bar instantly went dead silent. Her friend's jaws practically dropped to the floor. Bai Ningbing actually got force-kissed? Does this punk have a death wish? The second the kiss ended, I tried to bolt, but as soon as I turned around, a strong hand clamped onto my wrist like an iron vise. Bai Ningbing yanked me hard, and losing my balance, I fell backward right onto her lap. She wrapped one arm tightly around my waist and interrogated me coldly. Kiss and run? I wanted to cry, but had no tears. My body was stiff as a board. I'm sorry. I messed up. Bai Ningbing leaned in dangerously close, her breath brushing against my face. Why did you kiss me? My brain instantly short-circuited, and I started rambling nonsense. I lost a game with them. I don't like them. They're too dirty. I just thought you were so pretty, miss. And you don't look like a bad person. While I said that out loud, I was screaming internally. Who the hell wants that dirty, trashy woman? Anyone can have her for all I care. She can't even hold a candle to the villain boss. Sure, the boss might chop me into tiny pieces, but she smells so damn good. Bai Ningbing let out an amused scoff at my inner thoughts. She looked down at me. You like me? Staring at that gorgeous face just inches from mine, I nodded frantically like a chicken pecking at grain. Who wouldn't love such a stunning villain boss? I heard her figure is absolutely insane too. Those abs, those long legs, I really want to touch them to see if they're real. Noticing my wandering eyes, Bai Ningbing reached out and flicked my forehead lightly. Little perv. I rubbed my forehead, looking defiant. I'm not a perv. Bai Ningbing narrowed her eyes dangerously. Oh, so you weren't lusting after my body just now? Her friend sitting next to us choked on her drink, spitting it out everywhere. I stared at Bai Ningbing in absolute shock. Wait a minute. Why is this big villain totally different from the book? Isn't she supposed to be cold-blooded and ruthless? How is she playing along with my jokes like some kind of mind reader? Just as I was about to talk back, Lu Hanxiao, sitting not too far away, finally lost it. She marched over with a dark scowl on her face and screamed, "Gee Boda, what the hell do you think you're doing? Get your ass over here right now." But instead of being scared by her screaming, I felt a rush of rebellious courage. I just reached up and wrapped my arms right around Bai Ningbing's neck. Turning back, I gave Lu Hanxiao the most innocent look. What are you yelling for? It was just a game, wasn't it? If you and that guy can go all out with a French kiss. I haven't even made out with this beautiful lady right in front of you yet. So what are you so mad about? Lu Jing's eyes were red with anger. Pointing a trembling finger at me, he stuttered, "Bro, I know you hate my guts, but Hanxiao is still your fiancée. Flirting and groping another woman right in front of her face, don't you think you're taking it too far?" Hearing that, I rolled my eyes so hard they almost got stuck and fired back with dripping sarcasm. Oh, so you actually know she's my fiancée? Then why didn't you think about that when you were sucking her face for a whole minute right in front of me? Rules for thee, but not for me, huh? Pissed off seeing me kiss your precious crush? Well, then let me do it again. Die mad about it, you manipulative prick. Meanwhile, Bai Ningbing kept her arms firmly around my waist. She looked down at my smug, mischievous face in her embrace and asked in a low, husky voice, "Still got the nerve to use me, huh?" She narrowed her eyes slightly, but despite her words, there wasn't a hint of real anger in her tone. Just as I thought. Seeing me totally refusing to leave Bai Ningbing's arms, Lu Jing clenched his fists so hard his nails practically dug into his skin. Lu Hanxiao's face turned completely livid as she screamed, "Gee Boda, even if you hate us, you shouldn't just grab some random woman and degrade yourself just to get back at me." I stayed right where I was on Bai Ningbing's lap, not moving an inch. I even started twirling the ends of her hair provocatively, glancing up lazily at Lu Hanxiao. "And who the hell do you think you are?" Lu Hanxiao gritted her teeth, forcing out her next words. "Don't you forget I am your fiancé." I actually laughed out loud at the sheer audacity. Gently pushing Bai Ningbing's hands away, I stood up from her lap, marched right up to Lu Hanxiao, and smack! The sharp sound of a slap echoed through the entire bar. Lu Jing let out a shriek and frantically rushed to hold Lu Hanxiao up, his eyes full of exaggerated heartbreak. "Hanxiao, are you all right? Does it hurt?" But Lu Hanxiao was completely stunned by the slap. Her body went rigid for a second before she awkwardly shoved Lu Jing away. She looked right at me and said, "Ji Boda, if you're just mad about what happened earlier, I apologize. Just let this go." I scoffed, delivering another fierce backhand. "Do you like this kind of apology?" I asked her coldly. Lu Hanxiao's friends finally snapped out of their shock, rushing in to stand between us. "Ji Boda, are you crazy? What the hell are you doing?" I pointed at Lu Hanxiao and roared, "Why don't you ask Lu Hanxiao what she's been doing for Lu Jing?" I glared at the crowd, screaming out all my pent-up rage. 3 months ago, she asked me to go hiking. But halfway up the mountain, Lu Jing called saying he was scared of the dark, and she immediately ditched me and ran off, leaving me lost on that mountain all night. 1 month ago, during a massive rainstorm, another call from Lu Jing saying his car broke down, and Lu Hanxiao kicked me out of the car, leaving me on the side of the road to go pick him up. I had a high fever for a week that turned into pneumonia, stuck in bed for half a month. Did she come see me even once? No. Whether it was my birthday or Valentine's Day, anytime we were alone together, Lu Jing conveniently had an emergency. And Lu Hanxiao always came running. The crowd erupted into gasps. Lu Hanxiao's friends froze, staring at each other, completely speechless. Bai Ningbing frowned at me, her gaze darkening. No wonder this brat looked so pathetic when I ran into him on that rainy night like he was running for his life. Bai Ningbing didn't say a word. She just watched me quietly, as if waiting to see what I would do next. I turned my head to glare at Lu Jing and slapped him hard across the face again. "Do you just love stealing other people's women that much? You just can't stand it if you aren't stealing them, right?" Lu Jing clutched his face, his eyes red from crying. "Boda, you misunderstood me. I didn't." Lu Hanxiao gritted her teeth. "Ji Boda, what the hell are you trying to do?" I looked at her with pure ice in my eyes, declaring every word clearly. "Lu Hanxiao, I am officially letting you know, our engagement ends right here. From now on, we have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Tomorrow, I'm bringing my parents to your house to call off the wedding. I'll let your parents see exactly how two-faced your proud and precious daughter really is." Lu Hanxiao trembled with rage. "This is between our two families. You think you can just call it off because you want to? Ji Boda, if you dare break off our engagement, let's see who would ever have the guts to marry you. Who says no one would?" I turned around, took a few steps right up to Bai Ningbing, and looked up at her. "Hey, beautiful. I just broke off my engagement. Will you marry me? If I marry that scheming bastard's dream girl, it'll absolutely piss off this trashy couple to death. Come on, boss. Give me some kind of reaction. Otherwise, I'm going to look so embarrassing." Bai Ningbing raised an eyebrow at me. "Marry you? What's in it for me?" I tilted my head, earnestly pitching myself to her. "I can act cute, shower you with affection, and even warm your bed. I'm really well behaved." Bai Ningbing reached out and pinched my cheek, looking thoughtful. "That does sound a bit tempting, but if that's all, I feel like I'm taking a loss here." My heart skipped a beat, and I kept testing the waters. "You might also get a personal chef out of it, or just a little kept man to help you spend your money. I mean, sure. I just want to cling to your coattails and live like a freeloader. But the G family does have a strong history of twins. Just imagine having 2 identical, chubby little babies. I wonder if you'd be into that, boss." Bai Ningbing's hand, which was pinching my cheek, suddenly stopped. "We haven't even made things official, and he's already thinking about having kids? Still identical little babies. That does sound like something to look forward to." Bai Ningbing pulled her hand back. She glanced at the time on her watch. Her tone was casual, yet left absolutely zero room for argument. "Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, Civil Affairs Bureau. If I don't see you there, you can look forward to feeding the sharks." I blinked, completely dumbfounded for a second. "You actually agreed?" Bai Ningbing stood up and smoothed out her business suit. Grabbing my arm while I was still in a daze, she turned to my shell-shocked friends and announced, "We're leaving. I'm taking him home." Just as we were about to leave, Lu Jing suddenly dashed out and blocked our path. Biting his lip, he looked up at Bai Ningbing with pathetic, tear-filled eyes. "President Bai, my brother is just acting out of impulse. He already has a fiancée. He was just joking around just now. I apologize to you on his behalf. Please, don't take him seriously. Standing next to Bai Ningbing, I rolled my eyes so hard I practically saw my own brain. Wow, panicking already? Bai Ningbing took off her jacket and draped it over my shoulders. She shot Lu Jing an icy glare. You're in my way. Lu Jing's face instantly froze. Deliberately clinging tightly to Bai Ningbing's arm, I said in a thick, mocking tone, "Oh my. Looks like someone is being a little too presumptuous, right, Lu Jing? Did I not make myself perfectly clear earlier? I don't want that piece of trash, Lu Hanxiao, anymore. She's all yours now. Aren't you thrilled?" Lu Jing's face flushed beet red. His gaze shifted back to Bai Ningbing, burning with a toxic mix of jealousy and obsession. Bro, are mom and dad really going to be okay with you doing this? I lifted my chin haughtily. Of course they'll be okay with it. After all, I'm their actual biological son. That sentence hit a massive nerve, poking Lu Jing right where it hurt. Ever since I was brought back to the Ji family, no matter how desperately he tried to suck up and steal the spotlight, blood is still blood. All those privileges he used to have all to himself? Now, if I don't give the green light, he isn't getting a damn thing. Come on, gorgeous. Let's go. I gave Bai Ningbing's sleeve a gentle tug. The air in here is getting way too toxic. Bai Ningbing followed my lead, letting me pull her toward the exit. As we walked past Lu Hanxiao, I paused for a split second. I shot her a look of pure disgust. Lu Hanxiao, have fun picking up my sloppy seconds. I hope you two are very happy together. Lu Jing's face was completely dark, glaring daggers at my retreating back. When we reached Bai Ningbing's car, I instinctively reached out to open the back door. Suddenly, a chilling voice came from behind me. Do I look like your chauffeur? I spun around, only to see Bai Ningbing standing by the driver's side, her expression completely dark. I shrank back in terror and scrambled over to the passenger seat. Gulp, the villain boss is absolutely terrifying. She going to just silence me if I say the wrong thing? Bai Ningbing slid into the driver's seat. She shook her head in amusement. Such a scaredy cat. Then how did you have the guts to kiss me in public just now? She suddenly asked. Relax. I really don't want to become a widow before we even get our marriage license. I tilted my head, looking at her in confusion. What do you mean? Seeing my bewildered look, Bai Ningbing's lips curved into a slight smirk. The Civil Affairs Bureau, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Do I need to remind you again? It hit me instantly. No need at all. I'll definitely be there on time. Bai Ningbing handed her phone over to me. Add my number. Feeling incredibly flattered, I quickly added her on WeChat. Staring at her cool, minimalist profile picture, I felt a warm, fuzzy feeling in my chest. Hee, I actually got the big boss's WeChat. I've got a powerful backer now, too. The car sped smoothly down the road, finally pulling up to the gates of the Ji family villa. Unbuckling my seatbelt, I was just about to get out when something suddenly crossed my mind. I leaned over and planted a big, loud kiss right on Bai Ningbing's cheek. Then, I shoved the door open and bolted. Bye, beautiful. I'm heading home. Watching my figure run away faster than a frightened rabbit, Bai Ningbing touched her kissed cheek. She let out a low chuckle. What a wimp. Just as Bai Ningbing was about to start the car and leave, a familiar vehicle suddenly appeared in her rearview mirror. In the blink of an eye, the car slammed on its brakes right in front of the Ji family gates. The doors flew open, and a woman and a man stepped out. It was none other than Lu Hanxiao and Lu Jing, who had chased after us in a desperate panic. Lu Jing's eyes completely lit up the moment he spotted Bai Ningbing's car. But just as he was about to walk over, Bai Ningbing hit the gas and drove off, leaving Lu Jing with nothing but a view of her taillights. Lu Jing bit his lip, his face turning a nasty shade of pale. The moment I walked into the house, I was greeted by the cheerful laughter of the Ji family. Little brother, here's a card for you. Buy whatever you want, just swipe it. This is money I earned myself. Ji Nainan said softly. I reached out and took the card from Ji Nainan, giving her a sweet, obedient smile as I thanked her. Thank you, my wonderful big sister. That damn Ji Boda. Why didn't he just drop dead out there? All of this, it's all supposed to be mine. I was right in the middle of talking to Ji Nainan when I heard that voice. My hands froze. I instinctively turned my head, only to see Lu Jing standing by the door, glaring at me with pure, unfiltered hatred. Lu Jing clearly hadn't expected me to turn around so suddenly, and he quickly lowered his head in a panic. That look, he looked like he wished I would just drop dead right there on the spot. The moment that thought crossed my mind, G9 and my parents' faces instantly drained of color. All of their eyes snapped toward me, only to realize that I hadn't even opened my mouth. Wait, could they actually hear my inner thoughts? Lu Jing came back this early. He must be terrified that I'll snitch on him to mom and dad, right? G9 frowned slightly. What on earth happened? As the three of them wondered this, they suddenly heard a piece of news that absolutely shattered their reality. Man, Lu Jing sure knows how to play hide-and-seek with the truth. He's already in contact with his biological parents, yet he's still playing dumb like he doesn't know a damn thing. And if that wasn't bad enough, Mom, Dad, and my sister treated him like gold for 20 whole years. But in the end, he teamed up with Lu Hanxiao to murder Mom and Dad. He even ran my sister over with his own car, and that wasn't even the worst of it. While my sister was on her deathbed, he staged her death to look like a car accident caused by her crossing the street drunk. Just thinking about how someone as wonderful as G9 was schemed to death by Lu Jing left a bitter taste in my mouth. G9's hands were trembling slightly, knowing that this would be my very own tragic end. Meanwhile, as my parents heard this, their hearts skipped a beat. Seeing how worried my mother looked, my father reached out and gently patted his wife's hand, comforting her in silence. Seeing that everyone had noticed his return, Lu Jing hurried over. He figured he would just play the victim and act pathetic, confident that the G family wouldn't dare do anything to him. After all, they're so stupid, he thought. But Mrs. G just glared coldly at Lu Jing. She wanted to see exactly what kind of nonsense he was going to spin. Completely oblivious to their glaring eyes, Lu Jing stopped right in front of the three of us and dropped to his knees with a loud thud. Before he could even get a word out, I spoke up first. Mom, Dad, I'm calling off the engagement. My dad hadn't even processed the situation yet when he heard me say I wanted to break it off. He turned to look at me in shock. What's going on? I thought you loved Hanxiao. I shot a quick glance at Lu Jing. That look alone sent shivers down his spine. Mom, Dad, Lu Hanxiao right in front of me and in front of a whole crowd of people made out with another guy, and they had the nerve to call it a game. I cut myself off mid-sentence, letting the tears stream freely down my face. Seeing me so heartbroken made my parents ache with pity. Boda, what exactly happened? Tell us everything. Terrified by the sheer fury radiating from my parents, Lu Jing's scalp went numb. With a trembling voice, he stammered, Mom, Dad, it's not what you think. We were just playing a game. The penalty for losing was. My father instantly put the pieces together. The guy making out with Lu Hanxiao was Lu Jing. At that moment, I watched as my family ruthlessly tore into Lu Jing. I was just about to speak when my phone suddenly buzzed loudly. I tapped it open only to find security camera footage sent by Ningbing. Right then, Lu Jing was still kneeling on the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. Mom, Dad, I'm so sorry. I messed up. It really was just an accident. Looking at his supposedly guilty eyes, I felt absolutely disgusted. I crossed my arms over my chest and asked with total composure, Lu Jing, you claim it was just an accident? You claim you deeply regret it? Lu Jing instinctively clenched his fists as a sudden wave of dread washed over him. I leaned in, pressing harder. What are you looking at me for? Do you really regret it? Was it really not on purpose? Lu Jing shot a desperate, pleading look at Mrs. G, but she just stared him down coldly and said, Lu Jing, answer G Boda's question. Realizing Mrs. G wasn't going to save him, Lu Jing reluctantly gritted his teeth and nodded. Yes. But to my surprise, I let out a laugh. Toying with my phone, I said, I actually have some security footage right here. It was pointing right at where we were sitting. Lu Jing's face instantly drained of color. He snapped his head up, his eyes wide with pure disbelief. What did you just say? I flashed him a sweet, gentle smile. Didn't you claim it was just an accident? So, if I play this footage right now, you shouldn't mind, right? Before Lu Jing could even speak, G9 beside him cut in firmly, play it. A second later, the video was cast onto the TV screen. On the screen, right after losing the game, Lu Jing lunged straight at my fiancée, Lu Hanxiao, and then the two of them actually held each other and kissed passionately, completely ignoring my presence right there in front of them. Not only that, the video also showed them being completely aggressive and unreasonable toward me. Calling me sensitive, telling me to just be the bigger person. Mrs. G couldn't take it anymore. She shot up from her seat and slapped Lu Jing fiercely across the face. The strike sent him crashing to the floor. He clutched his cheek, growling, "Mom, you hit me? I am not your mother." Mrs. G screamed furiously. "You knew damn well that Hanshao was Boda's fiancée. Yet you still went and seduced her. You actually kissed her in public. You are slapping this entire family in the face." After watching the video, Ji Shenzhen finally realized just how much humiliation I had suffered. His face turned completely livid. Mrs. G stared at Lu Jing with absolute disgust. Whenever Boda and Hanshao spent time together, you always had to drag her away. "Lu Jing, how can you be so sickening?" Just then, my phone buzzed again. Bai Ningbing had actually sent another batch of photos and videos. It was all footage of Lu Jing taking Lu Hanshao to meet the Lu family. And even hard proof of the two of them going in and out of a hotel together. "Mom, Dad, I have some more right here. You should see this, too." I cast the new videos to the screen. Lu Jing's already pale face drained of all remaining color the moment he saw them. "No, this isn't real," I scoffed coldly. "If you think they're fake, we can take them anywhere to get authenticated. If it's not doctored, I'll get on my knees and apologize to you myself." With that single sentence, I completely destroyed any way out for him. Mrs. G looked at him, her eyes filled with nothing but utter disappointment. "Lu Jing, you really outdid yourself. Since we've found your real family, you are no longer a part of the G family." Having raised him for 20 years, Mrs. G had never once thought of abandoning him. But what did Lu Jing do? He stole my fiancée, and he humiliated me in public. When Lu Jing heard he was being kicked out, he panicked completely. He knew perfectly well that the Lu family favored daughters over sons. Going back there meant he would just become a stepping stone for his two sisters. He threw himself forward and hugged Mrs. G's legs. "Mom, Dad, please don't kick me out. I am not your mother. Just go." Mrs. G's face was completely ice cold. "You can take your clothes with you, but other than that, don't even think about taking a single thing." Lu Jing wiped his tears, suddenly turning hysterical. "I'm your son, too. What gives you the right to treat me like this? The fact that you schemed against my son and stole his fiancée, is that not enough? You guys have wanted to get rid of me from the start, haven't you?" Mrs. G completely lost her patience. "Since you don't want to pack, then get the hell out of my house right now." Lu Jing's face changed instantly. All those expensive clothes, watches, and designer outfits he had in the G household. He couldn't just give them up like this. He wasn't going to let that happen. "Mom, you've raised me for so many years. Are you really going to abandon me?" Lu Jing instantly switched back to playing the victim, but Mrs. G looked utterly disappointed. "If you had even an ounce of respect for the fact that I raised you for 20 years, you wouldn't treat your brother like this." Surprisingly, Lu Jing actually got triggered. He snapped his head up and screamed hoarsely, "I'm the one who grew up with Hanshao. Why does Ji Boda get the engagement the second he comes back?" I just laughed out of pure anger. Unbelievable. He's really blaming this on me? I took a step forward and hit him where it hurt. "Lu Jing, you stole my life. Those 20 years you spent in the G family were supposed to be mine. Taking my fiancée to meet your biological parents is bad enough, but you kept my parents completely in the dark. What the hell were you trying to pull?" The moment I said that, the G family's fury toward Lu Jing completely exploded. I didn't give him a single second to breathe, pushing harder. "Hanshao even brought expensive gifts to meet your family, like a daughter-in-law meeting her in-laws. That was way more formal than how she treated my parents." Then, staring right at the timestamp on the video, I dropped another massive bombshell. "When you took Hanshao to meet your family, it was literally the day after I came back." "Lu Jing, exactly when did you find your biological parents?" Ji Shenzhen frowned deeply. He suddenly remembered that Lu Jing had begged for a business deal for the Lu family 3 years ago, and his face completely changed. "It looks like you've known for 3 years that the Lus were your real family." Ji Xing'an's voice was bone-chillingly cold. "No, maybe even earlier than that. Just one day after my real son returned." Lu Jing couldn't wait to take Hanshao back to the Lu family. This was a blatant slap in the face to the Ji family. If they hadn't investigated everything beforehand, how much longer would this adopted son have played them for fools? Realizing all of this, Ji Shenzhen let out a bitter, self-deprecating laugh. "Lu Jing, we really underestimated you. Dad, you believe Ji Boda over me? Your actions prove you are entirely untrustworthy," Ji Shenzhen declared with a heavy, final tone. From this moment on, you are no longer a part of the G family. And everything this family has given you, you will leave behind. Every last cent. Lu Jing was absolutely terrified. If he couldn't take anything with him, returning to the Lu family meant he would have absolutely nothing. He desperately clung to Ji Xing'an's pants, begging, "Dad, Dad, please. You raised me. You can't just do this to me. If my little brother really hates seeing me that much, I'll just leave." Unbelievable. Even now, he was still trying to shift the blame onto me. "You brought this on yourself with your own mistakes. What does this have to do with Boda?" Ji Xingjian looked utterly disgusted. Lu Jing finally realized he had said the wrong thing, and his whole body started trembling. "I know I was wrong. I promise I'll never fight with my brother again." However, Ji Xingjian just coldly called the butler over. "Show Mr. Lu the door." Calling him Mr. Lu completely severed their ties once and for all. Not wanting to be physically thrown out, Lu Jing could only scramble to his feet in a pathetic state. Just before he left, he shot me a vicious, venomous glare. But right as he reached the door, I suddenly spoke up. "Mr. Lu, you are no longer a part of the Ji family. So, from now on, don't you dare go around doing shady things using the Ji family's name." Lu Jing's true intentions were exposed right in front of everyone. Humiliated and furious, he spun around and yelled, "Who the hell cares?" Ji Nainan also shot back a cold warning. "It better be exactly as you say." Lu Jing just felt a sharp pang in his chest, turned on his heel, and stormed off. Meanwhile, I could clearly hear his venomous inner voice. "That damn Ji Nainan. I played the innocent victim so perfectly. How dare she treat me like this? Since she refuses to be my loyal lapdog, she can just drop dead." I was absolutely stunned. I never could have imagined that Lu Jing not only wanted to steal everything I had, but he actually wanted our in-name sister to be his pathetic simp. He even wanted her dead. I looked at Ji Nainan beside me, my face full of mixed emotions. Wondering to myself, how on earth do I tell her about this so-called brother's true colors? Ji Nainan got totally creeped out by my intense stare. "Little brother, if you've got something to say, just spit it out." I let out a light cough, but my stomach was tied in absolute knots. Protecting my sister was an urgent priority. Does she even know that Lu Jing wants her to be his dog? Does she know he's also lusting after her body? Seeing how Lu Jing is, he definitely won't just let this go. How am I supposed to protect my sister's purity? Right while I was frantically brainstorming, the expressions on Ji Nainan and my parents' faces instantly froze. What did they just hear? Lu Jing actually wanted Ji Nainan to be his dog? A murderous rage instantly flooded Ji Nainan's eyes. That bastard, Lu Jing. She took a deep breath, walked over to me, and gave my shoulder a reassuring pat. "Little brother, if Lu Jing ever tries to bully you again, you come straight to me." However, I just shot her a very meaningful look. "Sister, you really need to watch your own back first. The way Lu Jing looks at you is super creepy." Ji Xingjian snapped out of his shock, too, and chimed in with a grave tone. "Your brother is absolutely right. Our whole family needs to be on high alert against that ungrateful backstabber." Right at that moment, outside the Ji family gates, Lu Hanxiao happened to see Lu Jing stumbling out looking like a complete mess. She hurried over to him. "Lu Jing, why are you out here?" Lu Jing threw himself right into her arms and started bawling. Choking on his fake sobs, he completely twisted the truth. "Hanxiao, what did I even do wrong? Mom and Dad want to kick me out of the house." The second Lu Hanxiao heard that, her blood boiled with absolute rage. She let go of Lu Jing and stormed right up to the front door. Raising her fists, she began pounding on the door like a maniac. "Ji Boda, get your ass out here right now." Inside the living room, I heard Lu Jing's smug, inner gloating. "When it comes to stepping up and causing a scene, I just have to leave it to Lu Hanxiao." He let out a cold sneer, spun around, and headed straight into the kitchen. The very next second, carrying a massive basin of water. And under the watchful eyes of my sister and parents, I violently yanked the front door wide open. Before Lu Hanxiao, who was still furiously pounding on the door, could even get a single word out, a basin of freezing cold water splashed her from head to toe. She was instantly drenched like a drowned rat. The smug smirk on Lu Jing's face didn't even last 3 seconds before he screamed out loud, "Ji Boda, what the hell are you doing?" Well, wasn't Lu Hanxiao acting a bit too hot-headed? I'll just have to knock some sense into her. "Ji Boda, you bastard. Kneel down and apologize right now." Lu Hanxiao roared. She raised her hand, about to slap me right across the face. Lu Jing excitedly held his breath. But right as the slap was about to land, I snatched her wrist and backhanded her with an even harder slap. Smack! A loud, crisp crack echoed. Lu Hanxiao was completely stunned. Where was the guy who used to follow her around, aching for her affection? I just shook my stinging hand in total disgust, cursing in my head. Her skin is so damn thick. Damn that Ji Boda. How dare he humiliate me like this in front of Lu Jing? Just wait until I marry into his family. I'll show him who's boss. Seeing G9 walking out with bodyguards, Lu Hanxiao didn't dare to make another move. She could only seethe on the inside, but then she completely changed her tune, putting on a fake magnanimous act. Ji Boda, I know you're jealous of Lu Jing, but we're really just friends. Just apologize and we can forget this whole thing ever happened. I was absolutely sickened by her. The very next second, I violently raised my leg and kicked her right in the stomach. How do you like this apology, huh? Lu Hanxiao instantly curled up like a shrimp in agonizing pain, trembling as she pointed at me. You bastard, you actually hit me? If you don't get on your knees and apologize right now, don't even dream of me marrying into the Ji family. I scoffed at her in absolute disgust. You must be completely wasted to be spewing that kind of nonsense. As soon as I said that, Lu Hanxiao and Lu Jing's faces completely dropped. Especially Lu Jing. He stared dead at me, his eyes filled with absolute confusion. What the hell is wrong with Ji Boda? Before today, he was nothing but Lu Hanxiao's ultimate simp, completely obsessed with her. How could he just stop liking her out of nowhere? And he even had the guts to kiss that Bai Ningbing. He even asked her to marry him. But the craziest part of all, Bai Ningbing actually agreed. Could it be that I pushed him over the edge? I heard his inner thoughts loud and clear and I stepped right up to him. Lu Hanxiao, our engagement ends right here, right now. Tomorrow, my parents will go to your house to officially call off the wedding. Now get the hell out of my face. Then, I shifted my gaze, staring dead into Lu Jing's eyes. I broke off my engagement with Lu Hanxiao, just like you always wanted. Are you happy now? Now you can finally take her to meet your real biological parents right out in the open. Oh, and by the way, from this moment on, you are no longer a young master of the Ji family. Lu Jing's eyes instantly welled up with tears. He immediately turned toward my parents, looking incredibly wronged. Mom, Dad, are you just going to abandon me, too? But Ji Shenzhen glared at him in utter disgust and barked, Don't call us Mom and Dad. We don't deserve it. Seeing her precious sweetheart being treated this way, Lu Hanxiao quickly shielded Lu Jing behind her back and furiously demanded. Uncle, even if Lu Jing isn't your biological son, you still raised him. How could you possibly treat him like this? G9 let out a cold laugh right then and there. Oh, so you do know our family raised him? Then why did he steal my little brother's fiancée? Why did he set him up to be humiliated by you? Is that something an older brother would ever do? Lu Hanxiao immediately took all the blame. I did this. What does it have to do with Lu Jing? G9 crossed her arms, staring at her like she was an absolute clown. Since you're so desperate to protect him, my brother is breaking off the engagement. So, what are you barking about? This is Ji family business. It's not your place as an outsider to run your mouth. Now, take him and get the hell out of here. Lu Jing's face went deathly pale. He fiercely grabbed onto Lu Hanxiao, who still wanted to argue. Hanxiao, let's go. His hands clenched into tight fists, his heart boiling with absolute hatred. G9, just you wait. If you don't end up on your knees begging me, I will never, ever forgive you. Hearing his inner thoughts, I actually let out a laugh of pure disbelief. You want my sister to get on her knees and beg you? Who the hell do you think you are? G9, hearing my inner thoughts, instantly turned her face to ice. It seemed that all these years of raising him had just made Lu Jing incredibly arrogant and ungrateful. Right at that moment, Lu Hanxiao glared at me, still refusing to give up. If you apologize right now, I might just forgive you. I only replied with a single word, scram. Ji Boda, don't you dare regret this. The only thing I regret is not kicking you to the curb sooner. You're unbelievable, I said, raising a basin of water in my hands. Lu Hanxiao flinched in terror and dragged Lu Jing away as they ran for their lives. Once they were gone, massive headache hit me. In my mind, I was screaming in absolute panic. How on earth do I tell Mom and Dad that I'm getting married to someone else tomorrow morning? The very next second, the eyes of my parents and G9 all locked right onto me at the exact same time. I jumped in shock, gulping down hard. Mom, Dad, why are you all staring at me like that? G9 asked through gritted teeth. Is there something you forgot to tell us? I looked at the three of them with extreme guilt. Let's talk about it when we get back inside. Once we got home, the moment I sat down, I carefully tested the waters. Dad, would you be okay with swapping out your daughter-in-law? Ji Shenzhen stared daggers at me. Aha! I let out a light cough and dropped the bomb. Bai Ningbing. In an instant, G9 and my dad both snapped their heads toward me, yelling in perfect unison, "Who did you just say?" Bai Ningbing, the current head of the Bai family. G9 instinctively reached out and pressed her hand against my forehead. Little brother, are you drunk out of your mind? That's Bai Ningbing, the #1 most eligible bachelorette in the capital, the woman every single man in this country wants to marry. I slapped her hand away. I'm serious. She's picking me up at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I was actually the one who asked the big boss to marry me. My parents and sister were completely and utterly stunned. They looked at me like I was a total psychiatric patient having a delusional breakdown. In the end, it was Madame G who steadied her nerves and asked gently, "Boda, tell Mom, what exactly is going on?" I awkwardly rubbed my nose, feeling even more guilty. Well, wasn't it because I lost a game and then I went and kissed her twice? My voice grew softer and softer. At the time, Lu Hanxiao said that if she broke off our engagement, no one else would dare to have me. In a fit of anger, I just popped the question to Bai Ningbing. I never expected her to actually say yes. As soon as I finished speaking, the expressions on the faces of my three family members instantly became incredibly bizarre. That actually worked? 2 kisses and you get a top-tier mobile for a wife? I watched them sitting there in total silence and thought they were mad at me. I asked cautiously, "Mom, Dad, you guys don't mind that I brought home a big-shot daughter-in-law for you, right?" Who knew Madame G would suddenly shoot up from her seat and march straight upstairs without saying a word? My heart sank. My mood instantly plummeted. Dad, is Mom mad at me? Ji Xing'an's expression was hard to read. He was just about to answer when Madame G came marching back down the stairs, holding a little red booklet in her hands. I looked closely. Why does this thing look so familiar? This is our family register. Madame G shoved the family register right into my hands and said meaningfully, "Son, a woman like Bai Ningbing, marrying her is an absolute steal. Mom fully supports you." I was dumbfounded on the spot. I turned my head to look at Ji Shenzhen, my eyes signaling frantically, "Aren't you going to stop your wife?" But Ji Shenzhen just threw his hands up, holding back a laugh. "Son, even though Dad hates to see you go, if your partner is Bai Ningbing, then Dad definitely supports you too. Once you get the marriage certificate tomorrow, ask her if she wants to come over for dinner." I was instantly speechless. Turns out I was just flattering myself. Right at that moment, Madame G suddenly sighed with emotion. "Now I actually want to thank Lu Jing. He stole Lu Hanxiao, but you got Bai Ningbing in return." I immediately thought to myself, if I successfully get the certificate with the boss tomorrow, Lu Jing is going to be so mad he could die. After all, the boss is Lu Jing's ultimate dream girl, the one woman he wants to marry the most. Hearing this, G9, who had been a bit reluctant earlier, did a total 180 degrees turn. He immediately said seriously, "Little brother, I think you and Miss Bai are actually a perfect match. You absolutely cannot be late tomorrow. You have to dress up looking incredibly handsome." Holding the burning hot family register, I returned to my room in a daze. Suddenly, I remembered the plot. As a male lead, Lu Jing has that ultimate heartthrob halo. Just by playing the victim, he can get countless women to do his bidding. Right now, it's only Lu Hanxiao, but later on, even more powerful characters will appear. I have to figure out a way to steal all of Lu Jing's connections. While I was scheming on how to deal with Lu Jing, Bai Ningbing had already returned to courtyard #1. The moment she stepped inside, a few of her besties crowded around her, asking eagerly, "Are you really going to get your marriage license with that young guy tomorrow? You've totally fallen for him, haven't you? You let him get away with way too much tonight." Bai Ningbing's lips curled into a playful smirk. "I wouldn't say I like him, but I don't hate him, either. And the best part is, he's so amusing. Completely different on the inside than he is on the outside." Her friends gasped in shock, then quickly pressed her, "Then what are you going to tell the Bai family? They'll be absolutely furious." Bai Ningbing's eyes turned icy, tossing out a simple reply, "I'm the only name on my household register." To her, the Bai family meant absolutely nothing. After her girlfriends left, Bai Ningbing sat alone on the couch, gently trailing a finger over her own lips. Her mind was completely filled with thoughts of G. Boda. Having a lazy, pouty little husband didn't seem so bad after all. And if they could have a couple of cute little babies, that would be even better. Bai Ningbing froze for a second, then shook her head with a helpless laugh. She couldn't believe he was rubbing off on her like this. She was already thinking about kids. She massaged her temples, grabbed her coat, and headed upstairs. A short while later, she stepped out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel. Bright and early the next morning, I was violently dragged out of bed at 7 o'clock by my mother. I picked out a slim-fit, light gray suit, paired with a high-quality white dress shirt. The collar was perfectly crisp, the cufflinks exquisitely detailed. Perfectly highlighted my tall, straight posture. Right after that, I carefully shaved and stood in front of the mirror, styling my hair with some gel. I made sure not a single strand of hair was out of place, then strapped on a quietly luxurious watch. I looked every bit the part of a sharp, handsome young heir. But as I hurried downstairs, clutching the folder with my household register, I froze. Bai Ningbing was already sitting in our living room. She was even having a great time chatting with my dad. "Why are you here so early?" I tilted my head at her, wondering to myself, when the heck did she get here? Bai Ningbing turned her head. Her eyes instantly locked onto the sharp, handsome young man standing at the top of the stairs. A sudden flash of guilt washed over her, like she was about to kidnap a minor. And yet, he was just so damn handsome she couldn't look away. Her intense stare was making me feel super awkward. "Does this outfit look weird or something? Why are you staring at me like that?" I shot her a grumpy glare, but that just made Bai Ningbing chuckle. She stood up, walked right up to me, and looked me up and down. "Little boy. I am 23 years old." I fired back, my cheeks puffed out in anger. "Who are you calling a little boy?" My fists clenched. I really wanted to punch someone right now. Just then, my dad's voice echoed from the living room. "G. Boda, hurry up and eat your breakfast. Ningbing has been waiting out here forever for you." I finally dropped my fists, but the moment my dad looked away, I shot Bai Ningbing another vicious glare. But my attempt at baring my fangs, at least in Bai Ningbing's eyes, just looked like an angry newborn puppy. 10 minutes later, I finished breakfast and marched over to Bai Ningbing. "Let's go." Bai Ningbing nodded. After saying goodbye to my dad, the two of us got into the car. "Why didn't you tell me you were coming? I sent you a text. You didn't reply." I pulled out my phone to check, and sure enough, there it was. But I was in the shower at the time, so I completely missed it. I could only give Bai Ningbing an innocent smile. Who knew she just blurted out, "So dumb. You're going to lose your husband talking like that." Bai Ningbing leaned over to buckle my seatbelt, nonchalantly replying, "One husband is more than enough for me. I don't want any extra." I was instantly speechless. Did I just shoot myself in the foot? On the way there, I kept making small talk with Bai Ningbing. Even though the boss lady was a woman of few words, she responded to every single thing I said. She was a million times better than that trashy ex, Lu Hanxiao. I couldn't help but think to myself, a boss is a boss. So polite, so classy. Bai Ningbing glanced over at me, completely ignoring my overly dramatic inner monologue. Today was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. I had the sharpest haircut, wore my most tailored suit, and I was about to marry the male lead's dream girl. It was the absolute peak of my life. But the second we pulled up to the Civil Affairs Bureau, one single figure made my good mood instantly plummet to zero. It was that completely obsessed, scheming male lead, Lu Jing. Bai Ningbing followed my gaze, then smoothly pulled into a parking spot. She turned to me and said, "Let's go." But the moment we stepped out and Bai Ningbing took my hand, Lu Jing actually charged right at us. Seeing her completely ignore him, he actually had the nerve to spread his arms and block our path. "Wait, I have something to say to you." "Music." Bai Ningbing's eyes turned instantly freezing. She impatiently spat out a single word, "Get lost." I actually burst out laughing, right in front of Lu Jing. I wrapped my arm tightly around Bai Ningbing's slender waist. "Oh, Lu Jing, are you here to tie the knot with Lu Hanxiao, too? Why isn't she with you?" Staring at how dangerously close we were standing, Lu Jing's eyes went completely bloodshot with jealousy. "That damn G. Boda. What gives him the right to marry Bai Ningbing? I'm the one who should be marrying her." Hearing his crazed, jealous inner thoughts, I only felt even more smug. I pulled Bai Ningbing even closer into my chest. "Babe, you can't wake me up this early anymore. I'm so sleepy." Bai Ningbing gave me an incredibly doting look and ruffled my hair. Just wait until we get our certificate, then you can go back to sleep at home. I immediately started fussing. Hey, stop touching my hair. You're ruining my style. Bai Ningbing held back a laugh, gently fixing it for me while whispering, "You're like a grumpy little puppy." After that, she didn't even spare Lu Jing a single glance. She just grabbed my hand and led me inside. Music. Let's go in. It's going to get crowded soon. Lu Jing could only watch helplessly as we walked right in. Grabbed our number, did the premarital checkup, and finally, we actually walked out holding 2 little red marriage books. He looked like he wanted to charge over and rip our marriage certificates to absolute shreds. But Bai Ningbing, acting like nobody else even existed, turned and asked me, "Do you have anything you need to pack up at your place?" Music. I purposefully raised my voice for everyone to hear. "I'm moving in with you. You won't even buy me new clothes, and you expect me to go home and pack? A big shot like you wouldn't be that cheap, right?" Bai Ningbing pinched my cheek, looking completely exasperated. "I'm talking about my computer and stuff. You need to buy me new ones." I said that out loud on purpose just to rub it in Lu Jing's face. "Fine." Bai Ningbing agreed without missing a beat. "We'll hit them all right now. Whatever you like, we'll buy it all." Holding Bai Ningbing's hand, I strutted smugly right past Lu Jing. "Gee Boda, you bastard. I'm not going to let you get away with this." I whipped my head around and flashed Lu Jing a provocative smirk. "Not going to let me get away?" Music. "We'll see about that." Just then, Bai Ningbing caught Lu Jing's glare, practically seething with hatred. Music. She furrowed her brows and physically turned my head to face forward again. "He's just a pathetic clown." Music. "Stop looking at him." Damn, I thought to myself. The male lead's irresistible charm is totally useless against the villain boss. Hearing my inner thoughts, Bai Ningbing frowned slightly. Irresistible? Lu Jing isn't even as good looking as this kid. Unwilling to waste another second there, she pulled me along and walked away. She left Lu Jing standing there shell-shocked, practically crumbling from being called a pathetic clown. Without another word, Bai Ningbing dragged me straight to the shopping mall. On the way there, I tilted my head and asked her. Music. "Are you coming over to my place for dinner?" Without even looking back, Bai Ningbing replied, "Yeah, it's the perfect time to tell your parents that you're moving in with me tonight." I blinked in surprise. Wow, the boss is getting comfortable fast. She's already calling them mom and dad. But whatever, that works. It'll just add fuel to the fire and piss Lu Jing off even more. Hearing my petty little scheme, the veins on Bai Ningbing's forehead throbbed. She forced down the urge to kick me out of the moving car. As soon as we hit the mall, I made a beeline for the electronics counter. The second I picked up a gaming console, she handed me a black card. "Put it on this." I snatched the card without hesitation and waved it at her. "I'm totally going to max this out, you know." A smirk tugged at the corner of Bai Ningbing's mouth. How ambitious. After that, from slippers and toothbrushes to high-end designer clothes, I cleared out everything in my path. Finally, struck by a rare moment of conscience, I tossed in a few sets of loungewear for Bai Ningbing, too. Fully loaded with shopping bags, we headed straight back to my place. At the dinner table, Bai Ningbing made a formal announcement. "G Boda is moving in with me tonight." Even though my mom looked a little disappointed, all she could do was nod and agree. The second I stepped into Bai Ningbing's massive villa, I immediately started roasting the place. "Your room looks like a staged showroom. There's absolutely zero life in here. What a massive waste." But Bai Ningbing didn't get mad. Leaning against the wall, she waited for me to get closer, then suddenly yanked me right up against her. She shoved that black card back into my hand, her voice dropping low. "However you want to change it, do whatever you like." My eyes lit up instantly. "Seriously? Whatever you want to do is fine." Bai Ningbing smiled and nodded. "As long as it's not too pink, I'm good with anything." As soon as she said that, I covered my mouth and chuckled. My head was instantly filled with the image of Bai Ningbing sleeping in a bright pink blanket. "What are you thinking about?" Seeing my punchable smirk, she reached out and grabbed my wrist. I immediately backed up to create some distance. "I was just thinking about what you'd look like sleeping in a fluffy pink blanket." Before the words even left my mouth, I turned to run. But Bai Ningbing caught up in a few strides, hooked her arm around my waist, and pulled me right back. I pressed both hands against her soft shoulders, my heart pounding like crazy. Music, What are you doing? The next second, the room spun around me. I was tossed right onto the soft, massive bed, and Bai Ningbing immediately pinned me down. She stared down at my flustered, babbling mess of a self, her eyes brimming with amusement. Compared to your little fantasies, I'm much more interested in seeing what you look like lying in my bed. As soon as she whispered that, her face suddenly leaned in close, her scorching breath tickling my ear. I don't know where I found the courage, but I actually threw my arms around her neck, tilted my head up, and kissed her. But to my surprise, just as I tried to pull away after a quick peck, she cupped the back of my head and pulled me back in for a deep, lingering kiss. Seeing that things were getting dangerously out of hand, I shoved her away and scrambled off the bed in a panic. Why? You stay away from me. Bai Ningbing just stood up at her own leisurely pace, deciding to let me off the hook for now. I breathed a sigh of relief, but as I touched my slightly swollen lips, I couldn't stop the corners of my mouth from turning up. If Lu Jing finds out about this, he's going to lose his damn mind. With that thought, I immediately whipped out my phone. A delightfully wicked plan to mess with Lu Jing was already taking shape in my head. Just then, Bai Ningbing walked back in holding a glass of milk. Drink your milk. After handing it to me, she turned around and headed straight into the bathroom. I had barely finished the last gulp of milk when the bathroom door swung open. Bai Ningbing stepped out wearing nothing but a single bath towel wrapped around her. Her flawless curves were on full display with droplets of water sliding down her smooth collarbone. I stared, completely mesmerized. Bai Ningbing strolled over to me with slow, deliberate steps. A wicked little smirk played on her lips. Like what you see. I nodded without even thinking. Yeah, gorgeous. Little pervert. Bai Ningbing reached out and flicked my forehead. I quickly grabbed my head and fired back. You're my wife. What's wrong with looking? You're the one walking around naked, but I'm not allowed to stare? Music. Stingy. Hearing my complaints, she suddenly leaned in close. Well, to return the favor, shouldn't I get to take a look at you, too? Her eyes locked intensely onto mine. My hair practically stood on end. You pervert. Well, since you're calling me a pervert, if I don't live up to it, wouldn't it be a little unfair to me? Seeing her backing me into a corner, I let out a yelp and bolted straight into the bathroom. I'm going to take a shower. Hearing the laughter behind me, I ran even faster. But when I finished washing and stepped out, Bai Ningbing suddenly threw off the covers, got out of bed, and scooped me up into her arms. She turned around and tossed me right back onto the bed. Looking at her dangerous expression, I panicked. I'm going to sleep in the guest room. But just as I was about to get up, Bai Ningbing firmly pinned me back down onto the bed. Your wife doesn't accept a marriage of convenience. I don't know how much time passed, but I was completely exhausted. Pushing against her, I croaked out, I want to sleep. Bai Ningbing looked down and kissed me softly. Just one more time and then I'll let you sleep. When Bai Ningbing finally let me go, I was so tired I couldn't even lift a finger. Music. If anyone ever says my wife is a lesbian again, I'll smack them silly. Hearing this inner thought, Bai Ningbing actually chuckled softly. The next morning, Bai Ningbing woke up. Looking at me clinging to her like an octopus, she felt helpless but completely doting. She carefully peeled off my arms and legs and quietly got out of bed. Before leaving, she pressed a soft kiss to my forehead. After heading downstairs, Bai Ningbing immediately instructed the butler. My husband is still sleeping. Don't disturb him. However, once she got to the office, Bai Ningbing instantly turned back into that unsmiling, icy CEO. But when the employees saw her, they were absolutely shocked. Am I seeing things? Is that a hickey on the boss's neck? She has a husband. The assistant came in to report on work, and her eyes darted to Bai Ningbing's neck for the 10th time. Is there a problem? Bai Ningbing finally looked up, and the assistant saw it even more clearly. Not only were there hickeys, but there was actually a bite mark right above her collarbone. Boss, your neck. But Bai Ningbing just reached up and touched it, completely unbothered. It's nothing. Keep going. The assistant couldn't hold back her gossip. Was it your husband? Bai Ningbing tossed the documents onto the desk, looked up at her, and smirked. Who else would it be? That smug and cocky attitude instantly sent the entire company into an uproar. Just as the meeting ended, Bai Ningbing's phone rang. It was actually a call from me. As soon as she picked up, my angry roar came through. Bai Ningbing, you have no shame. But Bai Ningbing just chuckled softly. Didn't you start it? I was furious. When I woke up this morning, my neck was covered in hickeys that I can't even hide. How am I supposed to go outside? Who knew? Bai Ningbing would pointedly reply, you have a point. But did it kill you? Bai Ningbing, I am your husband. What's wrong with going easy on me? This damn woman. Bai Ningbing's eyes were full of amusement. As she walked out of the conference room, she said, you actually have the nerve to complain? Do you know how many people stared at me when I came into the office today? Why would they stare at you? She looked completely confused. 'Cause last night, some little puppy with really sharp teeth bit someone. Right as she said that, Bai Ningbing grabbed her phone and took a selfie of her neck, showing off the bite marks and hickeys, and sent it straight to me. I tapped it open. Seeing the glaring evidence right there on her skin, I immediately burst out laughing. But I wasn't about to let her off the hook that easily. That has nothing to do with me. My name is G. Boda, not Little Puppy. Music. Hearing that Bai Ningbing was actually more embarrassed than I was, made me instantly happy. Well, since you made such a fool of yourself today, I guess I'll let you off the hook this time. I hung up the phone. Meanwhile, in the conference room, the executives, who had just been scolded into silence, stared at each other. Was that gentlewoman really their ruthless CEO? On the flip side, music. I stared into the mirror, deciding to just say screw it and embrace the mess. But when I caught sight of the hickeys on my own neck, a brilliant plan popped into my head. This was way too good of an opportunity. It would be a crime not to use it to mess with Lu Jing. The very next second, I took the photo Bai Ningbing had just sent me and posted it to my timeline. Privacy settings? Visible to Lu Jing only. Post. Music. Right at that moment, Lu Jing, who had been brooding all night over us getting our marriage certificate, picked up his phone and immediately saw my post. He tapped on it. He was so furious he almost coughed up blood, violently smashing his phone onto the floor. G. Boda, you absolute bastard. Right then, Lu Hanxiao called me. Her tone was dripping with condescension. G. Boda, come back to me. You'll have a much better life. I actually laughed out loud at the sheer audacity. How could one woman be so painfully average, yet so arrogant? My wife is richer than you, prettier than you, and has a way better body than you. What on earth makes you think you can compete with her? But to my surprise, Bai Ningbing sitting next to me, gently pinched my chin and whispered, am I really that amazing? G. Boda's eyes flashed with mischief. He suddenly threw his arms around her neck and planted a deep, loud kiss on her. On the other end of the line, hearing that sound, Lu Hanxiao's eyes went red with jealous rage. G. Boda, what the hell are you doing? It's the middle of the night and I'm with my wife. What do you think I'm doing? Or did you want the live broadcast? With that, G. Boda abruptly hung up the phone. He immediately pounced on Bai Ningbing. She laughed and wrapped her arms around him. Well, you're the one throwing yourself at me. Meanwhile, after being hung up on, Lu Hanxiao went absolutely crazy. She grabbed her cracked phone and obsessively dialed his number over and over. But no one answered. It wasn't until G. Boda was so exhausted he fell asleep that Bai Ningbing finally picked up the relentlessly ringing phone and answered it. Cradling her man in her arms, she spoke into the receiver with a lazy, careless drawl. Miss Lu, it's the middle of the night. Why are you calling my husband over and over again? Hearing her voice, Lu Hanxiao immediately knew exactly what had just happened. Where is G. Boda? Looking for my husband? Bai Ningbing looked down affectionately at the man in her arms. He's all tired out and fast asleep. He doesn't have time to take your calls. Right on cue, a groggy G. Boda mumbled from her embrace. Wifey, come to sleep. Hearing that, Lu Hanxiao completely lost her mind. G. Boda, how can you be so utterly shameless? But little did she know, G. Boda frowned, burying his face deeper into Bai Ningbing's embrace. Where is that dog barking coming from? Bai Ningbing let out a soft chuckle, coaxing him tenderly. Just a stray dog, honey. Go back to sleep. She waited until G. Boda was completely fast asleep. Bai Ningbing's tone instantly turned ice cold. Miss Lu, you wouldn't stoop so low as to be the other woman, would you? I heard you lost your inheritance rights to the Lu family. I suppose you wouldn't mind losing a few more things, right? Before the other side could even reply, she hung up the phone. She immediately turned around and dialed old Master Lu. Elder Lu, this is Bai Ningbing, G. Boda's wife. I suggest you keep your granddaughter on a tighter leash. Tell her to stop calling in the middle of the night trying to be a homewrecker. It disturbs our peace. When old Master Lu received this complaint, he was so furious he nearly passed out. He immediately grabbed a whip and stormed right into Lu Hanxiao's room. You ask what I'm doing? Bai Ningbing just called me directly to complain. Facing his hysterical granddaughter, old Master Lu raised the whip and lashed her mercilessly. Lu Hanxiao remained utterly defiant, screaming at the top of her lungs, "Ji Boda is my fiancé. He is supposed to listen to me." Mrs. Lu stared at her daughter with deep disgust. You dumped Ji Boda for Lu Jing, and now that he's married to someone else, what on earth are you throwing a tantrum for? But Lu Hanxiao was delusionally confident. Mom, Ji Boda still loves me. Who the hell do you think you are? Do you really think he'd still want you after the way you humiliated him? Even Lu Rian, who had been watching from the sidelines, couldn't take it anymore. She spoke up coldly, if Ji Boda still loved you, he wouldn't have rushed to marry someone else. You called him just now and got cursed out, didn't you? Probably heard some things you really didn't want to hear, huh? Those words hit right at Lu Hanxiao's sore spot. Music. She exploded in a rage. Watch your mouth. Lu Rian mercilessly twisted the knife. When you were busy hooking up with Lu Jing, Ji Boda was 100 times more devastated than you are right now. You only had to suffer through it once, so what are you so furious about? Come on, big sister. Be a little more mature. After all, they are legally husband and wife. Mrs. Lu had finally reached her breaking point and slapped her hard across the face. Now, Ji Boda doesn't love you anymore. He's started a new life, and now you suddenly want him back. Why on earth should he wait around for you? Yet, Lu Hanxiao remains stubbornly delusional. He only married Bai Ningbing to make me jealous. Old Master Lu was thoroughly disappointed. With a stone-cold expression, he told his daughter-in-law, send word to Ji Boda. From now on, whatever Lu Hanxiao does has absolutely nothing to do with our Lu family. As the crowd dispersed,